1. Introduction. My name is Janine. I am 28 years old. I live in a small apartment in the city. I share this home with my husband. We have been married for 5 years, but our life together is very quiet. It is a quiet that is also very sad. We live like two people who are just roommates. We share a house, but we do not share our lives. We do not have a happy marriage. We share the bills and we share the space, but we do not share our hearts. We do not talk much when we are together. If we speak, the words are often just about work or money. The words are cold. We do not smile at each other. We never laugh together anymore. We do not touch. Our hands are like strangers. We sleep in the same bed, but we are far apart. We are two separate people in one small room. I feel a deep loneliness every day. This feeling is heavy. It sits on my chest. Every night I feel empty inside. I look at my husband and I see a man who is distant. I do not feel his love. He does not feel mine. We have lost the connection we once had. This feeling of being alone in my own home is the worst feeling. My soul feels trapped inside this silent, sad house. I think about this sadness often. I remember when we were happy. Now those times feel like a distant dream. I need love. I need warmth. I need someone to see the real me. Because my life at home is so cold, my heart begins to look for something else. It searches for a different feeling. It wants connection and happiness. It wants a new beginning, far away from this quiet sadness. I know that searching for love outside my marriage is very dangerous. I know it is wrong to break my promises, but the need for human warmth is stronger than my fear. The loneliness pushes me forward. I feel like I am walking on a dark road, and I must find a light to guide me. I want to feel alive again. I want someone to hold my hand and tell me I matter. The quiet sadness of my marriage pushes me away from my home. It pushes me into the world. I hope to find the missing part of my life, the part that holds love and laughter. I feel ready to risk everything for a moment of real warmth. My heart cannot stay cold anymore. 2. A new man. One evening, I went to a small cafe. I wanted coffee and quiet time away from my usual schedule. I sat alone at a table near the window. I watched the people outside walking quickly in the street. Then I saw him. His name was Andrew. He was sitting across the room, reading a book. He looked gentle and kind. He had a warm smile. We started to talk. I do not remember who spoke the first word. But suddenly we were talking easily, like old friends. Andrew was very warm. He listened closely to every word I said. This was new for me. Nobody listened to me at home. When Andrew looked at me, I felt a strong, sudden feeling. It was like a light turned on inside me. I felt alive for the first time in many years. I had not felt this happy for a long time. We talked for a long time that night. We talked about books, music, and our lives. When it was time to leave, I did not want to go home. Andrew asked for my telephone number. I gave it to him quickly, my hand shaking a little. The next day, Andrew called me. We met again. We met many times after that first day. We met for lunch, for coffee, and sometimes just to walk slowly in the quiet park. Soon, we started to see each other in secret. I knew this was very dangerous. I knew it was wrong to hide things. But my heart ran to him every time he called. I could not stop this feeling. Andrew gave me the love and attention I needed badly. He made me feel important and seen. He made me feel beautiful again. At home, there was only silence and coldness. With Andrew, there was laughter, deep emotion, and kindness. He was soft. He was everything I had wished for. I stopped thinking about my unhappy life. I only wanted to think about Andrew. Our secret meetings became the most important part of my week. I waited anxiously for his text message or his call every morning. I started to live two very different lives. One life was quiet and empty, lived at home. The second life was hidden and full of joy, lived with Andrew. Andrew and I became very close, very fast. He was mine, and I was his. We shared our feelings and our hopes. This secret love was powerful and necessary. It made the world feel new and bright. I knew the risk was big, but I could not turn away from this love. I needed him to fill the empty space in my heart that had grown bigger every day. 3. Our secret time. Andrew and I needed to be careful. Our time together was a secret. We could only meet when my husband was not home. This made finding time difficult. Sometimes my husband traveled for work. Those days were our chance. I went to Andrew's apartment or he came to mine. We met many times. When we were together, I forgot my sad life. We talked for hours. We laughed at small things. Andrew's eyes were kind. He made me feel calm. Andrew's voice was soft. When he spoke, I felt safe. He always listened to my problems. He never judged me. We kissed many times. Our kisses were full of feeling. I felt deep emotion when I was with him. I felt like the person I wanted to be, but our time was always short. Every moment was stolen. It was like taking something that did not belong to us. I knew this was dangerous. It was a big risk. If my husband found out, everything would break. I thought about the risk often. Why did I continue? I continued because of the loneliness. The loneliness in my marriage was too heavy to carry. It felt like a large stone on my chest every day. Andrew took that stone away. When I was with him, I felt light. We created small rules for our secret meetings. We only texted late at night. We used special words so no one could understand our messages. We never spoke his name on the phone. This secrecy was exciting, but also stressful. We had to watch the clock always. When the time came to say goodbye, my heart became heavy again. Leaving Andrew meant going back to the quiet, empty house. but the memory of our secret time helped me. It gave me strength to face my unhappy life. I knew I should stop this secret love, but I could not stop the feeling. I needed Andrew. His love was the only light in my dark world. For a night together, Janine's husband went away. He traveled to another city for work. Janine was alone in their apartment. The house felt very big and empty without him. The night was dark outside. Inside, the house was quiet and cold. Janine felt lonely. She did not like being alone in the silence. Her heart felt empty, just like the room around her. Janine thought about Andrew. She missed his kind eyes and his warm voice. She decided to send him a message. She wrote a short text to Andrew, asking him to come over. Andrew replied quickly. Soon, he arrived at Janine's door. He had a gentle smile on his face. Janine opened the door immediately. She was so happy to see him. Janine opened her arms wide. Andrew stepped inside and held her tight. She felt his strength and warmth. She missed him so much that her whole body felt relieved. Her heart started to shake a little because of the strong emotion. They did not need many words. They just held each other for a long time. The silence of the apartment was heavy until Andrew arrived. His presence made the air light. They walked to the living room. They sat close together on the sofa. They talked softly about their days. They made tea and sat by the small window, watching the quiet street below. They laughed at simple jokes. This laughter was real, unlike the fake smiles Janine used with her husband. Andrew's hands were soft when he touched her face. They shared a long, deep kiss. Every touch felt important and true. Janine felt safe with him. She forgot about her unhappy marriage and the cold house. They spent the whole night together. The hours passed quickly. The night was soft and warm because Andrew was there. When they were close, Janine felt a powerful connection. It was different from anything she knew before. They felt like they were the only two people alive in the world. The secret risk did not matter right now. Only the warmth and the love mattered. For this one night, Janine was truly happy. She wished the morning would never come. 5. A surprise return. The night was soft and warm. Andrew and I felt safe and happy together. Suddenly, a loud, hard knock hit the front door. My heart stopped. I looked at Andrew with great fear. It was my husband. He was home early from his trip. This surprise return was a terrible danger for us. I had to move very fast. I pushed Andrew toward the bedroom door. "Go, hide now," I whispered quickly. My hands shook from the panic. Andrew understood. He went into the dark room and closed the door softly. I tried to look calm. I fixed my clothes and walked slowly to the door. I opened the door. My husband stood there. His eyes were cold and his face was serious. He walked past me into the living room. He did not smile. He looked around the apartment carefully. He felt that something was wrong. There was a strange feeling in the air. He looked at me with doubt. "Why are you still awake so late?" he asked me. My mind worked quickly to find a good lie. I needed to keep him away from the bedroom door. I started to talk very fast. I asked him about his travels. I talked about his job and the long drive home. I smiled a fake smile. I was lying, but I needed to distract him completely. He did not believe me right away. He walked toward the kitchen, but then he turned back. He looked hard at the closed bedroom door. My heart was beating very fast. He began to search the rooms. He looked behind the chairs. He looked in the small closet. I stood between him and the bedroom, talking quickly all the time. Finally, after a long, difficult minute, he stopped searching. He went to the kitchen to get a drink of water. This was Andrew's chance to leave. I looked at the bedroom door. It opened just a little. Andrew ran out of the apartment very quietly, like a shadow. He escaped into the dark night outside. I closed my eyes and breathed out slowly. The danger was gone, but the fear stayed with me. 6. The sad goodbye. The morning after was slow and heavy. I did not sleep well. I kept thinking about the loud knock and Andrew running away. I felt sick with worry. Did my husband really believe my lies? Was Andrew safe? I waited all morning for a message or a call. The phone stayed quiet on the kitchen counter. Every minute felt like an hour. The house was quiet, but my mind was very loud. In the afternoon, the phone finally rang. My hands shook as I picked it up. It was Andrew. His voice was low and serious. It was not the warm, kind voice I knew. My stomach hurt instantly. "Janine," he said, "we must talk about what happened." I could only whisper his name. I knew what he would say, but I did not want to hear the words. "That night was terrible," he continued. "Your husband was home. He was suspicious. We were almost caught. This secret is too big now. The danger is too high for both of us, and I am afraid." I held my breath, listening to his sad words. He sounded far away and tired. He paused for a long time. "I cannot continue, Janine. I am so sorry, but I must say goodbye." The word goodbye hit me hard. It was like a physical punch to my chest. I dropped the phone onto the soft rug. The sound of his voice stopped completely. I stood there, lost in the sudden silence of my own house. My heart broke completely. It felt like glass shattering inside my chest. All the love, all the secret laughter, all the stolen moments were now gone forever. I sat down slowly on the floor. I did not move for a long time. Then the tears came. They fell fast and hot, like heavy rain. I cried for hours and hours. I cried for Andrew. I cried for the short love that was now over. I cried because I was back where I started. Before Andrew, I was lonely. Now, after Andrew, I was more lonely than ever before. The emptiness in the house was huge. He was the light, and now the light was out. I felt cold and lost. I realized that the price of one secret night was losing the only good thing I had found. The sadness was a heavy blanket covering me. I wished the day would end quickly, but the clock moved slowly. I was alone again, and this time the pain was new and sharp. 7, a night of thinking. The night came. Janine was alone in the apartment again. The hours were slow and very quiet. She went to bed, but she could not sleep. Her mind was full of many thoughts. She turned left, then she turned right. Sleep did not come at all. The darkness around her felt heavy and cold. She thought about Andrew. She remembered his kind face and his gentle voice. She remembered the way he smiled at her in the small cafe. Now he was gone. His goodbye was final and complete. Her heart felt a deep, sharp pain because of the loss. She missed his touch. She missed the feeling of being truly loved. The memory of their short, secret time together was both sweet and very sad. She knew she would never feel that happiness again. Janine also thought about the danger. She remembered the loud knock on the door. She remembered her husband's cold eyes looking around the room. The fear she felt that night was terrible. Her hands started to shake just thinking about it now. They were almost caught. The risk was too big to continue. Andrew was right to leave. Their secret love could have ruined 3 lives completely. She realized how close she came to losing everything, not just Andrew, but her entire stability, too. The memory of hiding him behind the door made her stomach hurt. She knew she had made a terrible mistake by inviting him there. She looked at the ceiling in the dark room. She thought about her husband. He was sleeping in the next room. They lived together, but they were strangers now. There was no connection between them. The marriage was broken long ago. It was just an empty house they shared every day. She felt trapped inside the apartment. The walls seemed to move closer and closer. The house felt like a cage, holding her inside sadness and silence. She had searched for freedom with Andrew, but now she was back in the cage, and the lock felt stronger than before. She felt heavy, like her heart was made of stone. She knew that her actions, even though driven by loneliness, had only caused more pain. One wrong night had changed her life completely. That single mistake ended her secret love and exposed the truth of her unhappy life. She lay in the cold, waiting for the morning, knowing nothing would ever be the same. 8. The final lesson. The morning came slowly. The sun was bright outside, but I felt cold inside my heart. I walked to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. My eyes were tired and red from crying. I saw a person who was lost and very sad. I stood there for a long time looking at my reflection. I started to understand the final lesson of my story. I thought about Andrew. I thought about the danger we were in. I thought about the broken promises. Secrets make a heart heavy. They are a big weight that is difficult to carry every day. Lies also make love weak. My marriage was weak because of distance and many lies, not just my own. I knew that the stolen moments of happiness always bring pain later. That short, sweet feeling was not worth the final cost. The fear I felt when my husband returned was terrible. That night taught me a lot about myself. I learned that I did not want to live in fear anymore. I did not want to hide my life. I needed to be honest. I needed to be honest with myself before I could be honest with anyone else. My marriage was broken many months ago. The sadness and the distance broke it, not Andrew. I walked into the living room. I saw the papers on the small wooden table. They were the divorce papers my husband gave me weeks ago. I had not signed them because I was afraid of starting a new life. Now, I was not afraid of the future. I was only afraid of staying trapped in the unhappy past. I picked up a pen. My hand was steady and strong this time. I signed the documents carefully. The sound of the pen moving on the paper was loud in the quiet house. When I finished, I felt a deep breath leave my body. It was over. The secret was gone. The heavy weight was finally lifted. I looked at the signature. It was the first honest action I had taken in many months. I learned one clear lesson. A secret love can feel like the only light when your life is dark. But that light is false. It is sweet for a short time, but the price is too high. The risk, the fear, and the final sadness are too much to handle. I needed a real life, not a secret life. I needed truth. This was the start of my new, true life.